Okay, first of all, I've been an artist for at least 20 years.
Okay.
Graduated from the School of Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. Originally, I started off doing sculpture in stone, marble. Carved marble for about 7 years and studied in Italy and Carrara. And what happened is, you know, after all those years, I began getting tired of the weight of the stone.
Right.
And I said, well, there's got to be a way that I could create something that has a sense of organicness and that feeds me that spiritualness that I was connected to in marble and stone. So I took this class, A Material a Week, and that inspired me to look at materials differently, to, you know, incorporate into my work. And before you knew it, I'm always thinking about my artwork 24/7. I'm always creating in my mind. And so, you know, I was taking pantyhose and filling it with sand and paper and tape. And before you know it, I was doing these huge, soft, organic, visceral, you know, installations, you know, that mimic nature and you know, they just kept getting bigger and bigger and larger than me, and the funny thing about it is I could carry them as opposed to stone.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And then I started doing these other paintings on paper made out of layers and layers and layers of masking tape. And I use asphalt. I try to use any kind of material I can find. And so these pieces that I made with masking tape, they began to look like skins.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to incorporate them here. And all of my past works, I tend to work in series. My other series before these were these big, huge pour paintings, where I work on the floor and manipulate the paint and try to capture certain kinds of movement. I had a show back east where I was invited to have a one-person show at Bunker Hill Community College, and one of the assignments to an art class was to go and view my work and write a paper. And at the end, a copy of each paper from these students were given to me. And, you know, they were, I've gotten really mixed emotions. This is not art. I mean, this person is angry. I mean, I see you know, I mean, they're very sexual, they're very angry. But, I mean, looking at these, or like say you were walking in, you know, mud or in the earth, is that angry? Is that angry? You know, just because I hang it on a wall, you know, you can still have that same feeling. But my intentions are not anger. My intentions are trying to create nature, something that will give me the same feeling that I used to have, the spiritual connection with my stonework. And I'm hoping also to get back into my stone, you know, because of the meditative process and, you know, creating these with the sewing and the repetitiveness is like a ritual too, you know.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.